Hi, my name is Kaylie Smith, and I'm going to be presenting today on the Appalachian Fall Dispatches from Coal Country on What's Ailing America. And it was written by Jeff Young and a group of reporters from the Ohio Valley Resource. So, first off, I would like to quickly go over some background information. The Appalachians are a mountain range on the eastern side of the United States. It travels north from Mississippi, through the Virginias, all the way to southern New York. The Appalachian Mountains are known for the massive coal mines that are located there. Coal mining is an extremely dangerous field, but one that many people exert physical labor for with minuscule pay. Appalachian Fall tells stories from one of America's most misunderstood, stereotyped regions, the Appalachian Mountains. The states of Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky depend on the mining industry to support themselves, but are still riddled with poverty. Reporters from the Ohio Valley Resource set out to these three states in 2016 to raise awareness and encourage conversations about the reality of life near the Appalachian Mountains. The rest of the United States may see the Appalachians as a beautiful mountain range with amazing wildlife and nature, but is that still the reality of this environment in this midst of economic and environmental crisis? The stories within this text explain how various mining companies dodge taxes, pollute the environment, and then escape any blame for causing these problems. Communities in the Appalachians face an opioid epidemic thanks to pharmaceutical companies and deal with failing efforts to create rehabilitation opportunities. The reporters who created this series of reports deliver portrayals of people in these states dealing with the mistakes of both corporations and the government. Examples include farmers beginning to farm cannabis to make do, and miners going on strike in Harlan County, Kentucky. The problems that the Appalachians face are no longer just their problems. They are issues for the rest of the country as well. Several of the issues that the interviewers addressed were ones that I, an Oregon resident, had never heard of before. This includes issues like black lung among coal miners, the Black Jewel blockade, and the Martin County water crisis. When the interviews were conducted for the Appalachian Fall in 2016, Donald Trump was running for president. He had great support in Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia due to his promise of bringing the coal industry back and have it be stronger than ever. However, this has still not occurred in 2020, and the COVID-19 pandemic has only made matters worse for the residents of these areas. The main message that the reporters hoped to send to readers was to appreciate the labor and hardships that coal miners go through and appreciate the Appalachian area in general. This area has provided the United States with fuel for over a century, and yet the country is watching it fall further behind. We, as a society, must respect and acknowledge the contributions that the Appalachian community has made for the nation for over a century. The Appalachians have powered America with fuel. Without the coal from this region, the country would not have powered many of our homes and businesses, and the Industrial Revolution may have never even occurred. Without coal miners, the quality of America over the past 100 years would dramatically decrease. Despite this, coal miners are being treated as disposable. In this novel, author Jeff Young discusses a memory from his childhood that he often thinks about. He grew up in Wayne County, West Virginia, and watched an ad that showed coal mining as a very heroic undertaking, which is true. The commercial featured the phrase, "Coal is West Virginia." It did not say, "Coal is a big part of West Virginia," or even, "Coal is crucial for West Virginia," but simply, "Coal is West Virginia." Of course, there's more in the state than just coal, but it definitely plays a large part in their economy and history. Years later, after hearing this commercial during his childhood, Jeff Young dissected it more. He knows that it is time for West Virginia and the rest of the Appalachian states to not only be recognized for the coal that they do produce, but to become more than just a coal producer. Later on in the book, coal miners exclaim that they don't understand why fossil fuel extraction is the only kind of job this area is offered. We want jobs that won't kill us. Appalachia should be seen as part of America, not a strange, separate region faced with stereotypes. From the text, in fact, we argue that the resolution to many of America's most pressing challenges lies in better understanding and addressing Appalachia's conundrum. One of the stories in the text discusses the closure of a power plant in Coshocton County and how it led to great challenge for the community that lived there. The community did everything right in terms of training and educating the laid-off employees to help them find new jobs. However, that was just not sufficient. Training a worker for a job does not instantly create a new job opening for them. It puts pressure on the worker and makes them feel as if it is their fault for not being able to find a good job. In reality, there are not many job opportunities in this county, and not everyone is able to pack up and move in order to hunt down a job. The Appalachian Fall has close ties to the economic structuralism framework that we have discussed during this course. This framework is focused on the idea that economics drives society. As stated in our course materials, individualism permits people to blame the poor and disenfranchised for their own problems and distracts us from the real causes of oppression. And I believe this is exactly the case for the Appalachian Mountain and the coal mining issues that we have talked about. Appalachia was blessed with coal as a natural resource, but has never really benefited economically from it. I truly enjoyed my time reading this book. It educated me on topics that I knew little to nothing about. One major takeaway for me was the fact that mining towns in the Appalachians face harsh poverty levels, in addition to other crises such as water pollution and unemployment. The United States government, and society as a whole, has done little to help this region, despite them providing us with fuel for many years. I would recommend this book to anyone who has an interest in learning more about the truth behind coal mining in America. However, I would also recommend The Appalachian Fall to people who have never read about this topic before, as it is very educating, but easy to follow and definitely captivating. I included this map illustrating how coal mining, and specifically mountaintop removal, is linked to poverty levels in the Appalachian mountain range and surrounding communities. I would like to leave you with this quote from the novel that I found interesting to ponder. How do you bring in people and businesses if you can't promise them a clean glass of water? Thank you.